Your Canadian credit history might be the only thing stopping you from buying your dream home here in Canada. You might think that I've saved enough for down payment. I have good credit history back home. Why can't I just get pre-approved for my mortgage? In Canada, your credit score starts from zero. And without it, you might face rejections from lenders or pay thousands more in interest. So let's break down how Canada's credit system really works and what you can do to build it fast. Make sure to stick around till the end because I'm going to share the unconventional strategy that brought us the financial freedom without constantly having to chase the perfect credit score. Hi, if you're new to my channel, I'm Bella. I moved to Canada in 2019 from China. Here on my channel, as a fellow immigrant, I try to share some raw, honest insights or tips on how to start over in Canada with both my personal experience and some research that I've done so that you can get some value from every single one of my video. And if you find some value by the end of my video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so that my content gets pushed to more people in your situation. What most immigrants don't realize is that in Canada, your credit score isn't just a number. It decides whether you can get a mortgage, how much interest you will have to pay, and even whether or not you can rent this home or get a car loan. So how do we build credit from scratch and how long is it going to take? Here we have some most common ways for you to build up your credit score. You can start by applying for a credit card if you don't have it already. And here's the tricky thing. Make sure to use it regularly and, more importantly, keep your balance under 30% of the maximum limit on your card at all times, which means never to max out your credit card. And make sure you always pay the bills in time. Next, I'm sure most of us already have phone plans with various service providers, but what you need to do is make sure that your service provider reports your payments, whether that's monthly or bi-weekly, to the credit bureaus. And if you're renting right now, make sure to also ask your landlord to report your monthly rent payments to the credit bureaus through a service called Landlord Credit Bureau. And last but not least, you can always consider taking out small loans or lines of credit later on once you have established a base score. So normally it would take about 3 to 6 weeks for newcomers to generate a credit score in your history. And it could take up to 2 years for you to actually build a strong credit history. Now that we've gone over how to build credit here in Canada, I want to share something a little bit more personal. Yes, understanding Canada's credit system is essential, especially for newcomers who are just starting here in Canada, because chances are we probably need to borrow that money to get a mortgage or to buy a car. But does that mean that Canada's credit system is a good system? I, for one, don't believe so. And here's why. Because if you look very closely at how the system works here, and I guess it's not just in Canada, it's everywhere in the world. If you want to build a good credit score, you have to keep borrowing money from banks or other loaners, which means that you have to constantly spend money that's outside your budget, that's in the future, so that you can spend the next however many years paying the lenders back with high interest. And to me, that's the exact problem. I personally don't think that's a very smart personal financial decision to constantly borrow money to spend for future expenses. I, for one, prefer to only spend what I already have, not what I potentially will earn in the future. And this is why I feel this way. Back in 2019, my husband and I moved to Canada from China. We had savings back in China, but we couldn't move everything here all at once. So I had to take out a loan for our car and a mortgage for our house. So between 2019 and 2023, most of that time, the two of us are earning 2 full-time salaries here. But we weren't able to save anything between the mortgage and the car loans. But that also has something to do with our spending habits during that time. But the way we were feeling was that even though we bought the house, bought the car, we constantly feel this invisible pressure. We feel like if one of us loses a job, we couldn't keep up. We would lose our house. So it never felt to us that we actually owned the house and the car. And sometimes it's just frustrating to recognize how much we're paying for interest in our mortgage. So in 2023, with the savings we were able to transfer from China, we paid off the rest of our mortgage and we paid off the car loans. So ever since then, for our monthly payment, we pretty much only have utilities, groceries, property tax, insurance, and that's about it. And here's the thing. In 2023, in June, I decided to quit my job here. So from June 2023 up until now, I have not been earning any income. We have been living exclusively off of my husband's solo income the whole time. And guess what? We were actually able to save some money with just one income. I guess for us, it's more like a mindset shift. Once you stop having to pay the mortgage or the loans to somebody else, you start to realize that everything you're bringing in is actually for you and your family. And whatever doesn't get used gets saved up. And because of how much easier it is now for us to put away some money for savings every month, it actually becomes a virtual cycle. So instead of trying to spend every last penny that we have like we used to when we're paying off those debts, now we're actually living within our means. We're planning ahead. We're trying to cut costs wherever we see fit. And saving just all of a sudden becomes so much easier and much more natural to us. So that's something that I kind of want to talk about. Of course, I understand that we're pretty fortunate to have saved up prior to coming here to have enough to pay off the mortgage and other debts. I know a lot of people are not in the same boat as us. But here, I guess I just want to share some of my personal, honest experience. Through the many conversations I've had with my husband about the Canada's credit system, he's Canadian, he's from here. Even to him, the whole credit system doesn't make sense because as consumers, you're not encouraged to save money and to spend money on things you can actually afford, but rather you are encouraged to borrow as money as possible so that you can spend money on things that you actually don't have the means to pay for yet, so that you can get a perfect score for your credit history. And I know a lot of people out there won't agree with me, my take on the credit system or our financial decisions, but I really just want to share some raw, honest opinion after being here as an immigrant for 6 years and also constantly talking with my husband, who's a Canadian, about whether or not the system is actually benefiting anyone. Feel free to leave your comments down below. I'd really love to hear what you think. If you've made it this far to the video, first of all, thank you so much for your support. And if you find some value in this video, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so that my content gets pushed to more people in your situation. And feel free to share the video or leave your comments down below because your experience might be valuable insights for somebody else on this journey. Let's help and support each other. Thanks for watching and see you in my next video.